G'day and welcome. In my last video I did originally say that pretty much I was going to walk you through all these, but well, to be honest with you, it'd be a bit of waste of time since just like all quest markers, 90% of these mods is essentially just click and install, run the Witcher 3 script editor? No, Witcher script merger program to sort out any issues, and away you go. So it's pretty well straightforward, and I'm pretty sure none of these mods really conflicted with each other, so it's a bit of a waste of time even if you are an absolute beginner. All these ones that I'm highlighting now don't have any script editing, nothing like that. It's essentially just click and install. I don't think this one has any. Pull it up and have a look at it. Yep, but yeah, like that one. Better icons, gear improvements, all these. They're all just straight up click and install. If you're running the Steam one. Anyway, these are all Steam tutorials as far as I know. If you have the GOG instead of Steam, all you have to do to install mods is essentially go to your Witcher file, go to your mods folder, and if it's not there, you just right click, new folder, create a new folder, and create a mods folder. Now, as far as I know, it's not case insensitive, but I do like to do it anyway. And then I'll delete that. Yep, and then all you do is you pretty much unpack your mod, drag and drop it over to here, and then do whatever the installation instructions recommend. But yeah, with GOG it is a bit simpler with a lot of mods. I could be wrong on that. Like I said, I don't have GOG, I have Steam, so I use Nexus and I do mods the way I'm showing you guys. If you would be interested in seeing the step-by-step for GOG, let me know and I'll create an account and yeah, grab a couple of games off of it. Oh, I actually needed that up, but anyway. So what this video is going to do is pretty much something that drove me nuts for ages. When I first started modding The Witcher and whatnot, it took me forever to figure out how to get AutoLoot and Friendly HUD to work together. So I figured that would be the best way to start, show you how to install these two mods and get them to work together. Now, the biggest problem I had is I was using AutoLoot herbs only, which if you go to their website on Nexus, it is a good mod, and I recommend checking out Gopher's mod showcase on it because it's actually quite useful and interesting. But yeah, like you've got all these edits and all that, but even here it tells you to check out this one, all-in-one version, which is the one that I've downloaded and I have installed. Now it gives you so many more options, which I'll show you in game later on after we've installed it, on things you can do with it. Whereas with the previous AutoLoot, if it was herbs only, you essentially had to go in and edit the mods folder itself to change things, whereas this one, it's all done with sliders and options inside the actual game. So you can change it on the fly while you're going, which I think is quite useful. It's essentially exactly the same thing, except for with the previous AutoLoot, this one, the one that I was having so much trouble with, trying to get Friendly HUD to work well with it, you have different ones. So herbs only, no accidental stealing, then all these optional files. Essentially what this one is is it's all the optional files all rolled into one with sliders and stuff that you can change in game. So it's exactly the same as the other one, but better because you can easily change what you're doing or set it up so it benefits you the best. So this will be the first one I show you how to install. So all you do is, as usual, read the description, read everything here because it does tell you how to install it. It does go into great detail. I've already installed it, obviously, so this step here I'll be skipping, but it's pretty much all you do. I'll show you where the files are and all that, and I'll take you right up to the point before I execute it, so you can see exactly what needs to be done. But so I've already installed it, so all this stuff is already in there, but I'll be able to pull it up and show you. And so read the description. Articles, I recommend reading them because it has helpful stuff. I always recommend checking out the images and if there are any videos on the mod, so you pretty much know what you're getting before you download it. So these are all, from as far as I can tell, Let's Plays. They're not actual mod showcases. But if you watch the AutoLoot one, the one that sends you to this one, essentially it's the same one as what Gopher's showing you, except for this one, I think anyway, is a lot better. A lot more robust and easier to change while you're playing, but I'll show you all that while we're going. So first up, I'll show you how to install AutoLoot. So what you're going to need to do first is download it, whether it be via Nexus, and it's this one that we're downloading, whether it be via Nexus or manual download and manual install. Once you've downloaded it, you click, which would be here, a green tick. You click the green tick, it installs, that's done. Lower that. You want to bring up your Path to the Witcher 3 folder. So for me, it is this PC, Steam F Games, Steam Library, Steam Apps, Common, The Witcher 3. If you've done everything just automatic the way Steam wants you to do it, then it would probably be my computer or this PC, C drive, Steam, Steam Library, Steam Apps, Common, The Witcher 3. But wherever yours is, you want to head to here, go into the mods folder, find the AutoLoot menu, double click on that, and then you've got this install AutoLoot menu bat file. Now you don't need to worry, you just double click on that, a little screen pops up, which is clearly shown on the description of the mod. So there, click the bat file. This window will pop up and it'll just automatically install everything that needs to be installed into the bat file folders. Now essentially, as long as you see one file's copied, press any key to continue. You essentially just come up to the black screen, click on it or hit enter or something like that, and it closes. You're done. That's it. Now, in this respect, the mod is installed, but it isn't usable yet. We still need to do some ini folder edits. So you have your input XML text, which we'll get to in a minute, and you have your key bindings. We'll do the key bindings first since that's the easiest to find. You want to go to your Witcher 3 input settings and user settings folder, which if the game's installed the way it usually does, it'll be in your documents or whatever it's saved under. The Witcher 3 input.settings, user.settings. Now, if for whatever reason it's not there and you can't find it, the easiest way I can think of you being able to find this is to go here, go to your sort of My Computer page and whatnot, click this PC, so all your hard drives and all that are showing. Go up to the little search bar up here, and then just type in The Witcher 3. And don't forget to put your spaces where they need to go. The Witcher 3. So it'll run through the computer, it'll pull up all the Witcher 3 folders, yada 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 yada. So this one, Steam library, I know that's my data folder. But what we are looking for is when it finishes searching. Here we go. What we're looking for is another one that's labeled the exact same way, The Witcher 3, except for it'll be in a completely different place. And to check that, all you need to do is right click on that. Why isn't it? There we go. Sorry, right click on it and then open a new window. And what that does is it opens that folder in a new window without losing your search. And then if you see this stuff, you know you're in the right place. So I'll get rid of that. I'll get rid of that. So you found your input settings and all that, user settings. So now we're going to go into input settings. Now I'm using Notepad to do all these edits. I recommend using Notepad++, or is it Notepad C++? It's a much more powerful tool than this, but if this is all you've got, then it'll do fine. So right now what you're seeing is a lot of this stuff is from Friendly HUD. But so you want to bring that over, and then what we want is that one, key bindings. And then all you do is under exploration, you insert these two lines of code. This one, if you want to toggle true AutoLoot, which I don't have put in because I just have the settings, and essentially I don't even use radius loot. I just use the AutoLoot for the being able to walk up to something, hitting the activate key and collecting what's there, and I really only use it for herbs. But if you want to be able to toggle it with the switch of a key, then you need to put this line of code in. The whole thing. If you want to use radial loot, then you need to put this in. Otherwise, it won't work. And to find the right one, so you just go to the top of your folder, click anywhere, hit Control F, and it'll bring up this menu. So just essentially copy that by highlighting it and then hitting Control C. And then coming over here, hit and hold, Control V to paste. Or alternatively, you can select anywhere, hit and hold Control F to bring that up. Highlight this, right click it and go copy. And then right click over here and go paste. And then find and make sure you have down selected, because what that means is it'll look for that down from where you've previously selected. So we selected up here. So it's going to try and find an exact match for that below this point. If you have up selected and that is our point and you hit find, sorry, can't do it. It can't find it because there is nothing like that above that point. So select a point, come over here, make sure down is selected, hit find. There it is, exploration. And then all you need to do is click at the end here, hit enter to create a space directly underneath it, and then copy this line. Copy this line if you want the radial loot, or both these lines if you want the radial loot and the toggle. And you just copy that under there. And then what you do, what you do after you've done that, you so copy, paste, and then you repeat the process. Highlight horse, copy and paste it over. I'm using the hit and hold Control C to copy and hit and hold Control V to paste. Bind, and you've got horse. And then you pretty much just keep repeating the process. Control C. Control V. Now there will come a point, I believe, where it says it can't find a folder. I'm just doing this so you can see what happens. Yeah, here we go. So you can't find a folder. Okay, if that happens, don't stress out. Don't think, oh my god, I don't have combat in there. What am I going to do? This mod's not going to work. Just hit up. Right here, just change it from down to up. Hit find. And then, oh, there we go. It's because combat was above horse. So I don't know why the mod author has put it in this particular order. But if you're doing it directly from the file that the mod author provides in the mod, then yeah, that's going to happen to you. So don't stress out, just change it from down to up and then repeat the process. Enter, copy it, paste it. Same with swimming. Oh, okay, so we'll hit down. There we go, swimming is somewhere below combat. Enter, copy, paste, and that's it. This part is done. You can exit out of that, and you can exit out of that. Now at this point, where it asks you if you want to save, hit save, but because I've already made these edits, and if I save it now, something's going to go wrong because there's going to be duplicates of the edit. I don't want that. So I'm not going to save, whereas with you, you will save. Okay, so that's that done. Now we'll do the input XML settings. So I'll bring this over here. So we can get rid of this now. We're done with this folder. What you want to do now is have this folder still open, but navigate over to your Steam library folder again. Bring up The Witcher 3. Okay, now these folders are essentially built to imitate what's in here. So to find the XML folder, you just go bin, config, R for gaming, user config, PC, and then where this folder would go is where the XML folder is. So bin, config, R4 gaming, user config matrix, PC, and now you can see I've already got this in here. You don't need to copy this over. You'd only really do this if you were doing a manual install, but I was just showing you this little trick so you can find your input XML folder really simply. But what you want to do is you want to come here to the text document of the input XML, open it up, open up your input XML, and what you'll have in here is all these lines of code. As you can see, I've already got the mod Friendly HUD, which is here. And then if you go to the website, it actually tells you where you need to put it in there. So you go to and it shows you where the XML folder is, which is good as well. Like I said in other videos, mod authors, especially when they're making mods like this, they're really particular. They're really precise with the information that they give you. They want their mod to work. They want you to be able to install their mod, so they make sure they give you precise instructions on how to install. Now, not all mod authors will do it on the home page of where they've got their mod. Some mod authors will do it in the README folder, which this one doesn't have it. Oh, that's a bit of a shame. I only just noticed that. This one doesn't have a README. Oh, but anyway, sorry. I digress. Moving on. Keeping to the point. Not getting distracted. So, yeah, if you follow the instructions on the home page, it tells you find your input XML folder. And then you want to put this text that you've got here, which came from this text document inside the mod, you want to put it underneath this. So here it says group builder equals, in quotations, input ID equals PC input. Now, if you write it exactly the same way as this in the find, you won't find it. So what you've got to do is you go to your input XML. We do the same thing like what we did with when we were editing the key bindings. Click up here, hit Control F, and then hit, I don't know what that symbol's called, but it's above that guy. So Shift and that symbol. If you're in a different country with a different style keyboard, it might be different for you, but essentially you want to get that symbol up with a capital G, R-U-P-E, and then just hit Find. Cannot find group. I misspelt group, didn't I? G-R-O-U-P. My bad. G-R-O. And I did it again. That is not right. What is wrong with me today? G-R-O-U-P. There's no flaming E. Learn to spell, damn it. Hit Find. So, yeah, see, right away it's found group ID, but that's not the one we're looking for. If you remember, it needs to look like that. So we'll just leave this up and then hit Find again. Oh, what's this? Group builder equals, in brackets, input. Yep. PC name. Yep. And that is identical to what you're seeing in the picture. And if you actually look in the picture, this person too has Friendly HUD installed, which is brilliant because you know that this part of the text needs to go in below Friendly HUD and below this. So essentially at this point, what happened there? Essentially at this point, what you'll do is you'll highlight all this, you'll copy it, and then when you first see it, if you don't have it installed, it'll look like, give me a second, it'll look like that. So all you have to do is hit there at the end of that, hit enter to create that space, right click in that space and hit paste. That's it, you're done. Well, you're not done. You can exit out of that and then you close that down, exit out of this. At this point, you would save it, but I made these edits and whatnot already, so I don't need to save it. So I'm going to hit don't save, whereas you will hit save. And that's it. AutoLoot's installed. You're done and dusted with that. So now, that's AutoLoot done. At this point, I'd say run your Witcher script merger, make sure everything's working fine if you're just installing AutoLoot. But because we're going to also install another mod, which is Friendly HUD, this one's a bit more complicated. So we've just installed AutoLoot, we can get rid of that. So I don't believe, no there isn't. You just need the unofficial patch to use friendly meditation. So Friendly HUD, it's got some how to install instructions, how to uninstall. I would recommend reading all this. And yeah, etc. Check the videos out, check the images out, so on and so forth. So download the mod. Once you've downloaded it, come to your mod manager, highlight it, install it, and then it's installed the core files at this point. So now what we want to do is pretty much similar to what we did with AutoLoot. Okay, so pick a side. You can follow what I'm doing, or you can do it a different way. This side is going to be the mod. So the mods folder. This side is going to be where we do all our edits. So you come to the Friendly HUD mod, which will now appear in your mods folder. Bring it up. Open the README. You will not be able to install this mod correctly unless you open and read the README and follow it exactly. So we open the README, we are reading it. You'll need to read everything pretty much. The description you can skip. A list of changes you don't have to read, but I would definitely recommend reading it. This is the hotkeys, the way that it comes by default. So if you're planning on changing it, don't really need to worry too much about this, but if you're going to run with the default like I am, then I would definitely recommend, oh, I just did something wrong then. There we go. I would definitely recommend reading this. Okay, configuration. Read it. Installation, create backup, optional, pretty much what I've been telling you. If you're going to edit any of these files, I recommend creating a backup. That way, if something goes wrong, you've got that backup. You don't have to uninstall a game. Sorry, you don't have to uninstall the mods, uninstall a game, reinstall the game, then go through the process of reinstalling all of your mods. I always recommend backups. Installation of core files. Now this step was handled by Nexus Mod Manager, which it actually tells you at the end here. Install core package mods enabled. Yeah. There we go. You can use Nexus Mod Manager for this step. But make sure you also perform all the steps below. So we know, okay, this part, installing the core mod folder files, was handled by Nexus. Next, we're going to do the installation of the in-game menu and the new hotkeys. So it literally is as simple as read this. For in-game menu to work, you need to mod Friendly HUD config XML to be in your path to the Witcher. So that's this folder here. Where are we? Here. to be in your path to the Witcher. There it is. So to be in your path to the Witcher, bin config R for gamer. R for game. Oh, why are you doing that? User configuration matrix. User configuration matrix. PC. And in here. So essentially, it's told you that the mod fhud config.xml file, which you will find in here, bin config R for gaming user config PC. This folder here has to be copied over. Okay, I've already got it in there. I don't want to copy it over again. So back. Oh, back to the README. So once you've done that and that's done, come back here. For the new hotkeys to work, they have to be added to your, and then here's where we follow it again, path to the Witcher, config R for game, user configuration matrix, PC, input XML file. Okay, now if you have no other mods installed that edits this folder, you can get back to it. You can copy it directly over, but we've got another game installed, so we don't want to do that. So what we have to do is open this up, open with. So again, if you've got no other mods installed, I would actually recommend installing this mod first, because this step is so much easier. You just go boop, boop, done. But I want to show you the long way about it, because chances are of you not having another mod installed that edits this folder is pretty slim. So what you do is you've opened up the mods one, which is right here. Then you open up this one. Bring it over. Okay, as you can see, this folder is identical to this folder, except for this one has AutoLoot in it, whereas this one doesn't, because it's not a part of AutoLoot. But yeah, all this stuff down here is the same as this here. So all you need to do, now your version will probably look like this. Give me a second. Your version will look there. Your version should look something like that. So what you're going to do is you're going to come over, grab all this, right click, copy. If there isn't a space here, create a space. And then paste. Now you'll know you've done it right because you can actually use this folder that comes with the mod as a sort of checklist. So you can go, okay, yep. I just put that in, that's from there. Okay, group, mod friendly HUD, visibility group, mod friendly HUD, key bindings, yep. And then you can come down here and you can check all this to this. And essentially, this folder should look identical to this folder, excluding the edits from other mods. So for example, AutoLoot, you won't find this in this folder. Okay, then once you've done that, you can exit out of this. At this point, you would hit save. Again, I've already done these edits, so I'm going to hit don't save, but you will hit save. And then you can come back. You open up the README again. So that is step 3 done. Quick install, which pretty much tells you exactly what I just told you. If you don't have any other mods installed, you can just directly copy the folders over. No fuss, no muss. Done and dusted. Okay. Now don't freak out when you see manual install. Okay, we still got to do these steps here. Manual install, we still need to do them. So if you have other mods installed, okay, well this is telling you, yeah, pretty much to do what I told you to do before. So you can't just grab and drag it over. You have to go in, you have to make the edits. So this is why I always tell you, reading the README is very important because he's shown you how to do it. He's told you how to do it the quick way and how to do it the manual way, which again is important. So I've just shown you how to do it the manual way. I still recommend reading this. And if I've told you to do something and this tells you to do it differently, do it the way this has told you to do it. Okay, but the way I told you is essentially what's here. So step 4, initializing default settings and hotkeys. Mod settings are stored in C, username, documents, so that would be whatever your username for your computer is. Documents, The Witcher 3 user settings. So documents, The Witcher 3 user settings. Okay, key bindings are stored in this one. So hotkeys, key bindings. Mod settings, your hotkeys and your key bindings, etc. To install default settings, open both these folders. We'll just do it one at a time. Open both, yada yada yada. Files mod. Select everything inside. So pretty much what this step is telling you. Open up both these, but I'd recommend doing it one at a time. You've got input settings and you've got input settings. So open that up. Open that up. Again, making sure you keep them separate. And then just copy all this stuff. Same way we did, the way I did it was the same way you did AutoLoot. Find combat, come over here, copy combat, come over here, hit and hold control, then hit F, paste that in there, and then enter this in underneath, just like we did with AutoLoot, except for you're entering these keys in instead. Now, something I would recommend doing at this point is you're going to go through this, and then you're going to get, okay, I must be done. What? I need to go back to combat. So you're going to find that there's combat up here, combat down here. So what I recommend doing is when you find combat, so copy that, Control C, Control V to paste. You find combat, you make your little space underneath, you copy all this over, Control C, Control V, then make another space underneath and get rid of this. So highlight it, get rid of it. Then come down, find combat, yep, okay. Control C, Control V, and then get rid of this. Get rid of that. And you'll do that again over and over and over until everything's in and all this stuff is gone. Okay, once all this stuff is gone, you have put everything into the folder. So at this point, you just hit the X. Don't save it, okay, because you want all this stuff to come back. So don't save it. And then when you go, if you ever need to go back into it, all that stuff's back again. And then over here, hit X or save it, however you want to do it. You'll hit save. I've already done it, so I don't want duplicates of this stuff in there. So I'm going to hit don't save, but you will hit save, okay? And then that's your input done. User settings. User settings. Now you'll have user settings dot back. If you don't see the dot back, don't worry about it. You want this user settings folder, okay, the editable one. So you want to open that up. And you want to open this up. And essentially what you're going to do with the user settings is you're just going to copy all that. And then you're going to come over here, going to create a space up the top there. And then you're just going to copy all that in straight at the top. Done and dusted. Okay. Now, before we do anything, I'm just going to check to make sure I'm not leading you astray. Yeah, even I still check the the README folder. Initializing, okay, key bindings. Okay, here we go. Select everything inside the input.setting. So that's the one that'll be in your mod folder. And copy and paste it at the beginning of the input setting. So the one that's in the actual game, the computer. So what I've just shown you how to do. Note that if you miss this step, hotkeys in-game menu. So you'll have hotkeys in the game menu. You'll be able to see them. But you will not be able to assign them properly, which means it might say hold down M to show your mini-map. You'll do that, but nothing will happen. Or it'll just pop up as assign it to a key, but you'll assign it to a key, but nothing will happen. So it's very important that you do this step if you want your in-game things to work. So this one we can get rid of. This was the in-game one that we just edited. You're going to hit save. I'm going to hit don't save because I've already done this. You have to hit save. Okay, that step's done. We come back to the README. So we just did step 4, initializing the mod. So we've just done, oh, what was it? No, yeah, it was step 4. So we've just done all that. Okay, resolving conflict with other mods. So it's essentially going to tell you to run script merger. So we can get rid of this now. I've done some edit to it. I don't like that, so don't save that. We can close this. We can close this. And we're nearly done. So we've got both AutoLoot and Friendly HUD installed. Now you can follow this how-to even if you just want to install one. That's easy enough to do. Just pretty much go to the point where I've started installing it and just follow those instructions. I recommend doing it the opposite way to what I've done it, installing Friendly HUD first and then installing AutoLoot because there's less copy and pasting. So now we want to run the Witcher 3 script merger. Okay, now it's detected mod Friendly HUD and all my other mods. And there should be a few. Yep, here we go. AutoLoot, Friendly HUD, all this. So I'm just going to actually unclick this. Now, if you want, you can just hit script non-bundled XML, and then hit create 11 selected merges. But I'm pretty much going to do that. So you can do it one by one if you want, or you can do it all at the same time like I am. So create it. It's going to go through. It's told us that it's detected 25 conflicts. The number of conflicts it's been able to automatically solve without us having to intervene was 25. So that's perfect. Okay. And then this folder will pop up. Hit continue. The next one, it's been able to find 10 conflicts. It's resolved 10 conflicts. Continue. And you just pretty much keep doing this. Now, depending on what mods you have installed, it might say that it's detected it's found an unresolved conflict, so something that it can't automatically resolve. At that point, you're going to have to go in and the window will pop up for you, but you're going to have to tell it which one of those folders you want to win the conflict, essentially. Yep. Oh, here we go. Number of conflicts, 1. Number of conflicts automatically solved, 0. So, honestly, for the life of me, I have no idea what this is. But, oh, hit OK. But, yeah, so if you get a conflict and it can't automatically resolve it, this is what will pop up, except for you'll get the scripting here. I don't know why there's this. I have no idea what it says. I have no idea what it's for. But I'm going to let mod Friendly HUD win this conflict. I don't even know what so it's between Friendly HUD, Friendly Meditation. So I'm going to let Friendly HUD win this conflict. Save. Close this window. Okay, done. So you've got all your merge scripts over here. I always like to hit refresh just in case. Yep, we're all good. And then we can run the game. I'll do that now so you can see what happens. I'll see you in game. Oh wait, sorry. My bad. One last thing, when you run the game, red engine is going to pop up. I don't know if it'll do it for me, but red engine will pop up and start compiling the scripts. Now that is okay. It'll run, it'll do its thing, and you'll be right as rain. If it does come up with an error, it'll actually tell you what the error is. And I don't usually record gameplay with this, so you'll have to forgive me if it doesn't work properly or if it doesn't look good. Okay, and here we are in game. I've got a completely clean HUD. Now, this is not what you'll see at first. Your HUD will be full of everything. To configure this mod, you have to go into Options, Video, HUD Configuration, and anything you want to hide, you have to turn off. Now, something that a lot of people don't seem to understand about this mod is this mod doesn't hide what's on the HUD, it shows it. So you have to manually hide what you want the mod to show. Because all Friendly HUD does is it essentially turns this on and then turns it off according to a timer. So if you don't want Friendly HUD to handle something, you have it turned on and it will be on. If you want Friendly HUD to handle something, you turn it off and Friendly HUD will handle it. So that's what I've got turned on and off. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, then back, mods, Friendly HUD. And then through here, you can edit what you want Friendly HUD to essentially handle. So if you want Friendly HUD to handle if you don't want something to show up, but you don't want Friendly HUD to handle it, you have it off here and off in the other settings, and Friendly HUD won't touch it. It'll be off. It'll stay off. if you want Friendly HUD to handle it, you have to turn it off in your settings back before, and then turn it on in Friendly HUD. So these are my settings. I'm not a fan of the 3D markers, but each to their own. Quick items. So what this one does is when you go into your inventory, you can tell it where you want it to go. So I've got mine set to oils because 90% of the time when I jump into the menu, it's the oils that I'm looking for. But you can have it set to bombs, potions, buffs, whatever. So map and mini-map, they're my settings. Inventory. Oh, sorry, my apologies, I got it wrong. This inventory, this is where you set the thing. So when you hit inventory, this is where you set that. The other one, quick items, is what shows up in your, when you hit tab. I'll show you that in a minute. So again, inventory, these are my settings. Okay, and that's that. Once you've got it set up, however it is that you want it done, I've got mine set up so it brings up my health and my oils and buffs when I draw my sword. So I will draw my, I'll draw my sword. There it is. I have 12 hits of Hangman's Venom on my steel sword. At the moment, my health is half full, and all my little quick potions have popped up. I put the sword away, and it disappears. If I get into combat, there's nothing to get into combat around here, but for me, I've got it set so it automatically pops up. If I want to see my map, I hit the Witcher Sense, and there's my map. I get out of Witcher Sense, and the map goes away. If I want to see the map, but I don't want to go into Witcher Sense, I hold down that map key, and it brings it up. I can go around, I can do whatever I'm doing, then I release the map key, and it goes away. Now you can change the times that it goes away. Options, mods, Friendly HUD. You want to go into HUD, I believe it is, or map and mini map. No, it is in HUD, and then delay to hide modules. So that's the modules, that's your Witcher medallion with your health, that's your mini map, etc. So I've got it set to 1.9 seconds. So for the sake of this, we'll say set it to 5 seconds. There we go. Set it to 5 seconds and then exit out of all this. Now I bring that up and it should stay up for about 5 seconds, which is probably where I'll keep it. So that way I can do that and it'll stay up. So I've got a mission in there. We won't go into that. But yeah, so once you've got it configured and set up, sky's the limit. Now I mentioned before that AutoLoot, this version of it that I've shown you how to install, is so much more easy, not easy to use, I guess, but like it's so much more powerful than the other one. This is why it gives you this in here, AutoLoot. All these settings in-game. So presets, if you just want a preset, load herbs only, load herbs corpse, whatever. Settings, you can change all the settings. These are the settings I've got. So enable AutoLoot mod, so the mod's turned on. Use filters, yes. That's for me anyway. So off loots everything, on uses the filters. That should be match all filters. No accidental stealing. And it doesn't have herbs only. I might actually leave that there just in case. Match any filter. Yeah, so if it matches this, so if it's stealing, it won't auto loot. Not that it matters because I've got it turned off, so pretty much the only thing that'll auto loot is herbs. That's it. Herbs containers. Oh, so pretty much herbs. So it'll check to see if the container is a plant and not an actual container. And if it comes back as it's being a plant, it will auto loot. If it comes back as being a container, the loot menu, as it were, will, when you kill someone, you come over and that little menu pops up in the middle there, and you can choose what you take. That'll pop up. But yeah, so I obviously am not using it to its fullest ability, because pretty much all I wanted it for was the auto loot for the herbs. But yeah, so you can have it set up however you want it. It's your game. As long as you have fun playing it, that's all that matters. And exit. Okay. So that's how you install and get those two mods, as well as getting Friendly HUD to work with other mods. The same concept can work across the board with a lot of mods, although there are some mods where you will have to do extra work, like with the original auto loot that I was using. There's a bit of work into getting this particular version to work with Friendly HUD, but honestly, even the author of this says to go check out the one we've just installed, to go check this one out, because there's just so much more features in it. It's the same mod with some more stuff, so it's an upgraded version. You're not losing anything, you're just gaining stuff. So I definitely recommend this one over the original. And that's it. So we have all these mods working together. All these mods will be and are in my Let's Play. So if there's something particular you want to see, check out the Let's Play. If you just want to see that, but you don't particularly want to sit through an hour-long video, because the majority of my Let's Plays are fairly long. If there's a particular mod you just want to see, let me know. I'll be more than happy to make a video just on that mod, or if there's a couple of mods that are the same, I'll make a group video. Now, I hope this tutorial has helped. I know when these mods first came out, I had a bit of a hard time with them, and I couldn't find a proper tutorial that took you step by step on how to get these two particular mods to work. Now, as far as I know, these are the only two that really required a lot of effort from script editor. From the Witcher script merger. But now that I found this one and that one, you just follow these steps. You'll get the best of both worlds without any drama. If you do have any drama installing these mods, feel free to hit me up. I'd be happy to check out your list of mods that you've got and then essentially recreate it on my end, and then do a video on how you can resolve that issue or whatever issues you're having. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.